Hello students of class 12. Welcome back once again to your biology class. In our last class, we have completed the third chapter, that is human reproduction. Today we will start a new lesson, that is the reproductive health. So first, you have to know, what do you mean by reproductive health? Reproductive health means a total well-being in all aspects of reproduction, that is physical, emotional, behavioral, and social. That is the reproductive health. Now, what are the problems of reproductive health? What are the problems and what are the strategies? You have to know. What are the problems? The first problem is there is little knowledge of personal hygiene and hygiene of reproductive organs, which causes the sexually transmitted diseases or the STDs. Early marriages lead to high maternal and infant mortality rate, and due to lack of awareness, there has been a rapid increase in population size. And also, people encourage beliefs in myths and misconception about the sex related issues. This is the problem of reproductive health. And what are the strategies which can be taken to improve the reproductive health? First is the family planning program, which was initiated in the early 1951. The reproductive and child health care, that is RCH programs, were launched in 1997 for creating awareness among people about various reproduction related aspects and to provide facilities and support for building up a reproductively healthy society. With the help of audiovisual aids and print media, nowadays both the government and the non-government agencies are engaged in creating awareness among people about reproduction related aspects. What apart from that, strategies can be taken are encouraging the sex education in schools to give the right information to young minds and save them from myths and misconceptions about sex related aspects. Proper information about reproductive organs, adolescence, and related changes, safe and hygienic sexual practices, and sexually transmitted diseases knowledge should be given. Educating the people about the available birth control option, care for pregnant mothers, postnatal care of the mother and the child, importance of breastfeeding, equal opportunities for the male and the female child. Awareness of problem due to uncontrolled population growth and social evil like sex abuse and sex related crimes. The people should be made aware of. And there should be a statutory ban on amniocentesis. What is amniocentesis? It is a fetal sex determination test which is based on chromosome pattern in the cells found in amniotic fluid surrounding the developing embryo for sex determination to legally check increasing female feticide. Okay, so this is amniocentesis. So the sex of the child can be identified, and if it's a girl child, in many states the girl child is killed within the womb of the mother, so that should be banned. Next is the population explosion. The tremendous increase in size and the growth of population is called population explosion. The world population is about 2 billion in 1900 and it was about 6 billion in 2000. And day by day the population is increasing. Now, what are the reasons for the high population growth? First is the rapid decline in death rate is the first reason for high population growth. Decline in maternal mortality rate, that is MMR. Decline in infant mortality rate, IMR, that is also another reason for high population growth. Increase in the number of people of the reproductive age, that is also another reason. Now, how can the population growth be curbed, or what are the steps to curb the population growth? First is raising the marriageable age of the girls to 18 years and of boys to 21 years. And incentives should be given to the couples with small family. The most important step to control the population growth is to motivate the smaller families by using various contraceptive methods. What are the characteristics an ideal contraceptive should have? It should be user friendly, it should be easily available, it should be effective and reversible with no or least side effect, and it should be non interfering with the sexual desire or sexual drive or the sexual act of the user. Now, what are the methods of birth control? The contraceptive methods are divided into various categories. First is the natural or traditional method. Second is the barrier method. Third is the intrauterine device. Fourth, oral contraceptive. Number 5, injectables and implants. Number 6, surgical methods. Now, these 6 methods of birth control we will discuss in details in this chapter. First is the natural method. Now, these are the natural methods that work on the principle of avoiding the meeting of the ovum and the sperm. So, what natural methods can be taken? First is the periodic abstinence. What is that? It's a method in which a couple avoids or abstains from coitus from day 10 to 17 of the menstrual cycle when ovulation is expected to occur. Second natural method is the coitus interrupts or withdrawal. It is a method in which a male partner withdraws his penis from the vagina just before ejaculation so as to avoid insemination. What is the third natural method? Lactational amenorrhea. What is that? It is based on the principle that during the period of lactation after parturition, the ovulation process does not occur. So these are the natural methods. First one. Second one, before that you can see some pictures of contraceptive, that is the barrier method, the second one which we will discuss now. What is the barrier method? Basically, this method prevents the contact of the sperm and the ovum with the help of barriers. Such methods are available for both males and females. First is the condom. These are the barriers made of thin rubber or latex sheath used to cover the penis in the male or vagina and cervix in females also. It prevents the deposition of ejaculated semen into the vagina of the female. This male condom and female condom can be found separately. Second barrier method is a diaphragm or cervical cap and vault. What are these? These are the barriers which are made of rubber, and those are inserted into the female reproductive tract to cover the cervix during the coitus, and they prevent the entry of the sperm through the cervix. Third is the spermicidal cream jellies and foams, which are used along with the barriers to increase their contraceptive efficiency. Third is the intrauterine devices, or in short it is known as IUDs. What are these? These are the devices which are inserted by doctors in the uterus through vagina. Three types of IUDs are available. One is a non-medicated IUD, copper-releasing IUD, hormone-releasing IUD. Non-medicated IUDs, what they do? They increase the phagocytosis of sperms within the uterus. Example, you can give Lippes loop. Copper-releasing IUDs, what they do? Along with the process of phagocytosis of the sperms, the copper ion released, they suppress the sperm motility and fertilizing capacity of the sperm. Copper T, copper 7, multiload 375, these are the examples. Next is the hormonal release of IUDs. What are these? These make the uterus unsuitable for implantation and the cervix is hostile to the sperms. Example, you can give Progestastat LNG 20. Next is the oral contraceptive. This involves the uptake of the hormonal preparations of either progesterones or progestogen estrogen combination in the form of pills by females. These are basically the hormonal insertion, progestogen or progestogen estrogen combination. They inhibit the ovulation and implantation as well as alter the quality of cervical mucus to prevent the entry of the sperm. Sahelian oral contraceptive for female, it contains a non-steroidal preparation. It was developed by the scientists at Central Drug Research Institute CDRI in Lucknow. These pills have high contraceptive value and very few side effects. Next is the injection and implant. Progestogens or progestogen estrogen combination can also be used by the female as injection or implant under the skin. Their mode of action is similar to that of the pills, but their effective periods are longer. Next is the surgical method or sterilization. These are terminal and permanent methods which block the transport of the gametes, thereby preventing conception. In males, a small part of the vas deferens is removed and tied up through a small incision on the scrotum. This is called vasectomy. In females, a small part of the fallopian tube is removed and tied up through a small incision in the abdomen or vagina. That process is known as tubectomy. So here in the picture you can see how the tubectomy and the vasectomy process is done. Next, another is there, which is the medical termination of pregnancy. What is that? It is defined, the medical termination of pregnancy is defined as the intentional or voluntary termination of pregnancy before full term. MTP was legalized by the government of India in 1971 under strict conditions to avoid misuse. MTP, when it is done, this is done in special situations like failure of contraceptive used during coitus, or when continued pregnancy is harmful or fatal to either mother or fetus or both, then MTP is done. And it is safe, very safe during the first trimester, that is up to 12 weeks of pregnancy. Next, sexually transmitted diseases or STDs. Infections or diseases which are transmitted through sexual intercourse are collectively called sexually transmitted diseases or STDs or venereal diseases or reproductive tract infections RTI. These include gonorrhea, syphilis, genital herpes, chlamydiasis, genital warts, hepatitis B, HIV, etc. What are the early symptoms of sexually transmitted diseases? Itching, fluid discharge, slight pain and swelling in the genital region can be the early symptoms. Pelvic inflammatory diseases, abortion, stillbirth, ectopic pregnancies, infertility, or even cancer of the reproductive tract are some of the complications which may take place due to chronic STDs. Now, how is transmission of hepatitis B and HIV taking place? By sharing of injection needles or surgical instrument with infected person, it can spread. It can spread by transfusion of infected blood, or it can also spread by transfer from infected mother to the fetus through placenta. Now, how can STDs be prevented? STDs can be prevented by avoiding sex with unknown partners or multiple partners. During coitus, condoms should always be used, and a qualified doctor should be contacted for any doubt in early stage of infection. Next, infertility. What is infertility? It is the inability to produce children in spite of unprotected sexual cohabitation. The reasons for infertility could be physical, it can be congenital disease, it can be drugs, immunological, or even psychological. Specialized healthcare units called infertility clinics could help in diagnosis and corrective treatment of some of these disorders. The infertile couples could be assisted to have children through certain special technique called ART, like assisted reproductive technologies or ART. Now we will discuss in detail about all these ARTs. First is you have to know what is this IVF, that is test tube baby program. Now in this method IVF, what happens? Ova from the wife or donor or female and the sperms from the husband or donor or male are collected and induced to form zygote under stimulated conditions in the laboratory. This process is called in vitro fertilization or IVF. ZIFT. The zygote or early embryo with up to 8 blastomeres is transferred into the fallopian tube, and the embryo with more than 8 blastomere is transferred into the uterus. So, in the first process, when the embryo up to 8 blastomere is transferred in the fallopian tube, the process is called zygote intrafallopian transfer or ZIFT. An embryo with more than 8 blastomere, when it is transferred into the uterus, done by a special process called intrauterine transfer or IUT. In female who cannot conceive, the embryos formed by the fusion of gamete in another female called in vivo fertilization is transferred. This is the process of in vitro fertilization. Next we will discuss GIFT. GIFT, gamete intrafallopian transfer. It is the transfer of an ovum collected from a donor into the fallopian tube of another female who cannot produce one but can provide the suitable environment for fertilization and further development of the embryo. For them, GIFT or gamete intrafallopian transfer process is done. Next, ICSI, intracytoplasmic sperm injection. It is also a procedure to form an embryo in the laboratory by directly injecting the sperm into an ovum. So, this is done to the infertile couples intracytoplasmic sperm injection. Next is the artificial insemination or AI. What happens in this method? The semen is collected either from the husband or a healthy donor, is artificially introduced into the vagina or into the uterus by intrauterine semination or IUI, and this technique is used in case but the male is unable to inseminate sperms in the female reproductive tract or due to very low sperm count in the ejaculation. Now, what are the drawbacks here? This technique are not possible with female who have damaged uterine wall, and for performing these all processes, they require high precision specialized professional, and these are also very expensive, and different ethical, emotional, religious and moral issues in the society are also taking part in stopping all these processes. But the science and the technology has advanced in such way that nowadays the infertile couples also can have children. So this is all about the chapter of reproductive health. This is a very short chapter. Whatever points I told, just remember, go through the chapter. Till this much today. Thank you.